The place burned to the ground. And she ran out of the hotel holding our father, who was 4 months old, in her arms.
Oh, my God.
Not a single person lost their lives. But she had.
That was 1913.
She had a newspaper in the downstairs documents I have. She had a newspaper clipping of the event, and then also her written diary of that night.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'll send
That was
that also.
1913.
1913.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
because he
would
was
be
born in
great.
1912.
he was 19. So I'll send Penmar, because I was looking for that when you were out here, Barbie.
Mhm.
Newspaper and diary from Hortense. So if that had worked out differently, Mark and I wouldn't be here.
He wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
He wouldn't
If.
exist.
Well, and our grandmother Edith was in San Francisco during the earthquake.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
And if that had turned out differently, we wouldn't be here.
he was.
She was, I
believe
think she was in Oakland.
She was in Oakland, and she could see the fire across the bay.
Yes.
Coming
That's
back
the
to-
story we were told.
Yeah.
Coming back from Yosemite.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yeah, that's an amazing story.
But that doesn't make sense to be in Oakland and be coming back from Yosemite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yosemite is east, and
Oakland is.
drive
east.
west towards Oakland, and then you hit the bay. Then you can see San Francisco.
But stories get mixed up.
Yeah.
What's
And
your,
there's no bridge, just a ferry from Oakland to San Francisco.
Yosemite moves around in the middle of the night.
So sneaky.
I have photographs of my parents in Yosemite
is.
in early 50s. My son lives an hour outside. And he's lived in and out of Yosemite for 20 years.
Well,
It
Leon,
hasn't worked on him yet, but who knows, you know?
what?
I just found it on my cell phone.
the letter from Haverford.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh yeah. Oh, you found it. Great.
Do you have it,
Terrific.
Megan?
Yeah.
you
What's
can
that?
Send that on to Madeline. So
Yeah.
November
send it.
14th.
Send it to Madeline.
They called it the Jewish quota.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
that's right.
We
Yeah,
had
and I
other
think-
people in the family who were restricted that way also. I think, Leon, you were talking about that?
Yes.
Daniel was talking about that?
Yeah, when I went to prep school, they accepted only 10% Jews. And that was 1953.
And so did Winchester, where Susan and I went to high school.
and my husband wanted to be an engineer, but his father thought that was not a good profession for a Jew at the time.
That's crazy.
Well, my
Wow.
father thought that was a bad profession for a woman, and he made fun of me the whole time I was in school.
To
Really?
become an engineer.
Oh, yeah.
And I was my father was upset that I got into college. He didn't like it either.
Get a teacher here.
Where'd you go, Mark?
Where'd I go to college?
Mm-hmm.
I went to Vassar College.
Oh, Vassar, that's right. Were you among the first men to go?
Well, that was 5 years earlier. I graduated after five. It went co-ed in 72 and I graduated in 77. So,
Wow. Mhm.
in fact, this year, 77, is 45 years to the day. So come June the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, somewhere in there is our 45th reunion. So it's kind of nice. And
I missed our 60th because of COVID.
60th. But my dad was very upset when I got into college. He didn't think I was capable of it and really gave me a hard time.
Really? What did he
Oh,
want? you to
most definitely.
What did he
He
want?
never
you
thought
to
I was
do?
college material. He wanted to call the dean and say that I'm not worthy of going to school. It went
Oh,
on
my
and on.
goodness.
Oh, yeah, it went on and
Really?
on.
What a terrible
So-
father to say
Did he
that.
pay for your tuition?
Part of it, but he didn't like the idea at all. He didn't want me to go to college, thought I was too dumb for it, thought my sister couldn't go to get to her engineering degree. Either one
He
of us.
also
He,
told our mother she was too stupid to go to college.
yeah.
Say
was
that
very-
again. Who said you were too stupid?
My father told my mother that she was too stupid to go to college because she told me that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Your mother, Jean.
My
Yes,
mother.
that's right.
Wow.
No, he didn't like the idea of me going to college, didn't like the idea of my sister going for an engineering degree at all.
Was that afraid, he was afraid to be outshined?
I have
Oh,
no
I-
idea.
I think it's a bit of power and control.
Wow.
That's a lot of power. And both of you did it in spite of him.
I just stopped listening to him.
Yeah, I've been an engineer 35 years.
And I was a big fan of my sister going to engineering school.
He was the only person that I knew who was supporting me in that year. Every single other person that I knew said it was a terrible idea.
Mark, you mean
Oh.
Mark supported you?
Mark was
What?
the one.
Mark,
Yeah, I
you
was
were
a big fan.
What about Chris? Did you talk about Chris at all?
Well, that was a
No.
long time ago.
That was almost 50 years ago, over 50 years ago. So-
I think he always thought Chris was the brightest.
Yes.
Did Chris go to college?
He went to one
Brandeis.
year. He went to the first year of college. He went to Brandeis for the first year. And then between the first year and the second year, he died.
Oh,
So he
was
died
he?
just after he reached his 21st birthday.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't realize he was so young.
Yeah.
He was a baby.
Yeah.
In retrospect, anybody younger than 70 is a baby in my book.
I'm a baby. I'm a
Try
baby.
83.
67.
Wow, there you go. Here's a baby in our midst.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Hmm. Mark, what was your major at Vassar?
What was my major in college?
Yeah.
I was a psych major, and then after that, I got an MBA from NYU in finance.
What did your dad think of that?
He was also upset. He didn't like the idea. He just thought the whole idea of getting higher education wasn't a very smart thing, and he was very much against me investing in real estate. I bought a property when I was in business school, and he didn't like the idea, but the property did really well. So I just stopped listening to him, and then we got along fine.
I got to tell you guys the upshot of all of this. I went back to school in 1980, and my in-laws and my father were very much against the idea of engineering school. But when I was about to graduate in 1987 with honors, they both wanted to come to the celebration after spending all those years making fun of me. And I told them that none of them could come.
Can I tell them
Wow.
about me?
Well, my older son went to, Lee and I went to his graduation, but we found out when he was graduating, when we were there, that he wasn't going to graduate.
Oh, no.
But the reason he wasn't going to graduate is that he had started at Purdue and switched to Michigan. And he was one class short of the requirements at Michigan, which he didn't find out till it was.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But he has been very successful with that.
Did he graduate eventually?
Nope,
Oh, he never got
No.
the extra credit?
never
He's
got the
Never
extra.
took that one extra course and graduated?
Maybe he'll get an honorary degree someday, but he never did.
He's been extremely successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
What has he done? Kind of work has he done?
Well, he's worked at Apple, he's worked at Philips, he's worked as a consultant. Now he's in a small VC firm,
Oh, excellent.
a partner.
Great.
As is his wife and another one, right? She's a different.
Yes,
venture.
his wife.
Well, these
He's
are the
a big
ones that live down in Palo Alto.
Yeah, Los Altos, yeah.
Yeah, Los
I mean,
Altos.
that business that is going gangbusters.
You must be a
Excellent.
proud mom.
I am.
Did you encourage your kids to go to college, Susan?
Yes, and Lee continued to urge Matthew to stop and get a degree, but it doesn't seem to
Wow.
have done him any harm not to have it.
So our big family joke, was that our youngest was Mike. And when he was in preschool, we tested him and he tested quite bright. And I said to Barbara,
And he
well,
was a November baby, and the cutoff was December 1st.
We
right.
can't
I
hear
said,
you.
Can't hear you.
November baby.
Barbie,
And
we
the-
can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Barbie.
Well, you say it.
Yeah, well,
Tell him
yeah,
he was a
our
November-
son Mike was a November baby, and we tested him, and he tested quite well. But he was immature for his age. And I said, let's put him in first grade. He's tested well. And Barbara said, he's so immature, let's hold him back. So I prevailed. He went into first grade, and he became a class clown throughout school. He did well, but he was a funny guy that got himself locked in the gym locker, and people had to put
Oh,
quarters in the slot to ask the
Get him out.
guru different questions, and he answered several of them correctly until somebody asked who's going to win the World Series in your neighborhood.
we can't hear you. I can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Oh, you couldn't hear me at all?
Do you
Can't
have are you using the computer microphone or do you have a separate microphone?
No, I think can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
as long as you lean forward, we can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
better.
okay.
Lean
So how
forward.
much of Leon's story did you hear?
Quarters
After
in
he
the,
got stuck in the
couple
locker.
sentences.
He got
Yeah.
stuck in the locker.
Okay, so he got locked in the locker, and then one of his friends said, stick a quarter in the slot in the gym locker, and the guru will answer your questions. So our son Mike was doing quite well until somebody said, who's going to win the World Series? And Mike, not being in the sports, named a football team. And
Uh-oh.
then they started banging on the locker and saying, Mike Oshoag, I want my quarterback. So when he,
So wait a minute, wait. So a teacher whom we knew, a good friend of ours, was substituting that day. And she opened the locker. Kids were banging and saying, give me my quarterback. And she opened the locker and said, Michael Shoag, you get out of here.
so to continue with the story, Mike was getting his master's at Harvard University. We went to the graduation, and they called out his name, and Mike stood up, and he's going up to receive his diploma. And Barbara turned to me and said, should have held the kid back. And I said, Barbara.
That is a true story. He's turned out
any
very
other
well. Thank you very
children's
much.
stories?
That's cute.
I was held back.
Me?
I went to kindergarten 2 years in a row.
Well, you were born in September, so you were really kind of a borderline case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's when the cutoff was.
Right.
How old
So
were you
Now
when
that-
you went to first grade?
I was 6.
Okay, that's standard though.
No,
So you
okay.
started
well, then-
school.
oh, I was 5. See, I went to kindergarten in Princeton, New Jersey, and I also went to kindergarten in Oberlin, Ohio.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so I went to 2 years of kindergarten, but I didn't know, I had a lot of learning disabilities.
Well,
And I,
well, in first grade, you learned to read.
yeah, well, I remember kindergarten really well because I did it
That's good.
twice.
You got good at
Betsy,
eating
do you
paste.
remember when you were a kid, Betsy? And I think you were in Atlantic City, and Barbara and I visited you.
Oh,
And I put you
yeah.
on you and your sisters on my shoulders and rode you around.
Oh, I loved
I
it.
remember that very clearly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you? Uh-huh.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
the tallest kid in the world. You'd have big smiles on your face.
Yeah.
You were a lot of fun.
You
Thank you.
were.
He's still a lot of fun. Come on.
Well, he doesn't do that shoulder thing anymore. I'm very disappointed.
Now that we're growing up, we would really be tall.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
So our daughter Becky was going to summer camp, and I was dressed.
You gotta speak, you
Said,
gotta come a
All
little
right,
closer.
you gotta
Leon.
get closer.
our daughter Becky was going to summer camp, and I was resting, and Barbara said, would you mind putting her trunk in the back of the station wagon? And I got up and bending my knees, without bending my knees.
Closer, closer.
A chest press and put her trunk in the back of the station wagon. And the next morning, I couldn't get up out of
Oh,
bed
no.
and stand up straight. So I'm half bent over and I had to go to the bathroom. So I started crawling to the bathroom.
Oh,
And
God.
Barbara said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I can't stand up straight." And what I wanted was sympathy. And what I had was peals of laughter. And she said, "How are you going to maneuver once you reach your destination?" I was able to reach the putt pretty well.
Oh, we should not use up all our stories, but what we talk about when you're all here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
this
them
sure
back
the
for
was,
July,
environment will
right?
prompt more stories
Right.
with each place we visit. We'll say, I remember what happened here.
if anybody has any ideas of nice hotels downtown, send it along to me and I'll poke it around for places to stay.
I'll put that out in the email too. 'Cause,
Okay. Mark might know more than
yeah.
anybody.
It's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna go. Okay, I'll go with you. We'll stop in Jeanette.
So,
And there's also Airbnbs if that's the sort of thing people like to do. We like to do that.
Mhm.
We might be able to
I
find a
like to
place
do
in
that
Squirrel
too. I
Hill.
just don't have a car, so
Oh.
whatever works. So how's Joe doing, Barbie? And
Well,
Fern,
I think Joe's life is not easy.
you gotta come a little closer.
Yeah.
to try
Can
to
you hear
read
me? Can you hear me now?
that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think Joe's life is not easy. I think Jaden is a challenge, and Fern has had a couple of surgeries on the upper portion of her spine and needs another one lower, and she's not keen to do it because she's been in a lot of pain for a long time.
Oh, poor thing.
So I'm not sure if he's going to come. I think I have a feeling it may be a rather last minute decision for him. I'm sure he would like to come, but if he would come alone or bring Fern and or Jaden, I think it's all up in the air. So, yeah,
Well, we can talk to him on the phone while we're cavorting.
that's true. We can.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
if
it's
you
great to see you all. It's really fun.
Joe, if you do
But-
Zoom for Joe, I wanted to be part of that too.
Oh, totally. Anybody who
Absolutely.
can't be there, we'll just make sure they have a way to connect digitally.
Right.
It might
Yeah.
just be audio,
Yeah.
at least part of the time, but yeah, we can definitely do that. And we
There'll
will.
be other people
Thank
too that won't be able to be present, but we can loop them in.
Right.
Thank you, Madeline, for all your coordinating work.
Oh, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm guardedly optimistic that this date will stick and we can actually put it on the calendar and look forward to it, because I'm looking forward to it for sure.
And thank you all for your patience with me.
Well, listen, good luck with your health issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't have pink cheeks. Sometimes I do, so.
Whatever.
We can have a guessing game. Will she have pink cheeks today?
Well, I won't have them in July, that's for sure.
Good.
Just right.
Just
Okay,
be
well,
grateful for every day we have together.
absolutely,
True, true.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay, great to see you all.
Great
Yeah.
to see you too. And we'll probably end up doing this again as we get closer and trying to get the details ironed out.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Thank
Have
you
a great
very
rest
much,
of the
everybody.
weekend.
You too.
Okay,
Take care.
bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Oh, okay. He wants to have lunch sometime.